He was a skater boy. He said, see you later, boy, while he drove off on the back of a car.
Welcome to episode 14 of the Unusual Suspects podcast. That was Penny. Hello, Penny.
Hi.
And Mr. Quiet was Andy. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
We all have fun movies to talk about.
No, I have nothing to talk about today. I'm just going to sit here quietly and get annoyed at everything.
But you can't wait for Hackers, I guess.
No. I'll tell you what, I had a bit of good news this morning, right? A friend of the podcast, Dan, proposed to his girlfriend earlier.
Oh, yay. Well, unless she said no. Yeah, did
no,
she?
she did say
yes.
yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So congratulations to Dan and Brina. Well played.
Congratulations. Sorry we're 3 weeks late with this, but yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Then I watched Hackers and it all went downhill.
But the thing is, and you've done this 3, maybe 4 times in a row, you've watched it on the day we're recording. I've avoided this now.
Look, some of us are busy, some of us work. That's the problem.
All right, for fuck's.
I mean, I don't either right now, so.
Yeah, you've got no excuse.
Hooray for unemployment. Hooray.
Hooray for furlough. Yeah.
Something I thought I'd never say on this podcast, but Jesus Christ. There's always a first. Penny, you wanted to go first. What was it? Well, the thing is, okay, let's give a bit of backstory to this. She has texted us today saying, or send voice messages like we normally do when we start watching stuff, and we're like, you guys, you won't believe what I'm going to show you. Penny has sent voicemails where she's lost for words to even describe it to us, just like a bad biology voicemail I got. All right, okay, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you with this.
So I watched 2010's Rubber.
I was going to watch this. I know what it is.
Yeah, this is on my list of films to watch.
Oh no. All right.
This nearly went in the hat.
Would you like to explain it to people who don't know?
Okay, so Rubber is the story of a killer tire.
Yep. A tire, like on a car, right?
Yeah, on a car.
Yeah,
like a tire, a singular tire.
What the fuck has happened to her?
That kills people. It's very on brand. Well, I thought it would be very on brand.
And is this a scary film?
No.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing. I was expecting a B movie about a killer tire. Like, think, I don't know, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Chucky?
Yeah, like I was friend of the podcast, Chris, and I watched Christine the other week about the killer car, the Stephen King novel, and I was like, this is going to be a fucking tire that runs around and it runs over people, and I thought it was just going to be proper B movie.
Right.
Is it instead a 90-minute advert for Quick Fit?
No, the tire is unbranded. They do mention that at one point.
Other tire sellers are available.
Exactly. I'm going to try my best with this. It wasn't what I expected. There was a tire and it did kill people, so that's fine. But it was completely fucking bizarre. There's a guy in the desert and there's a bunch of chairs set up on the road in the desert, and a police car is coming towards it, and we're like, he's going to drive around the chairs, and he doesn't. He drives and knocks over every single chair on purpose. The car stops. Just I know you guys are not good at suspending your disbelief, but just go with me on this one.
No, we're going with it. We're helping you out this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, so I'm bagging in for this one.
Yeah.
Internet ghosts, I'm out.
Well, that's the thing.
Magic tires, I'm in.
What?
Magic tires.
Well, the thing I was going to say is, with Internet Ghost, you guys wanted me to explain the mechanics and the why. Like, how can she use a printer? And I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't ask me to do that with this film. I cannot.
We understand. We know what we're getting ourselves into with this.
So he knocks over all the chairs and then pops open the boot and a sheriff jumps out. and he starts talking to camera about why things there's an important, what does he say? He says all great films contain an important element of no reason. So like, why was
It's a good start to the film.
And it's literally to camera. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, why is E.T. brown? No reason.
Why is that the thing he's got an issue with in E.T. as opposed to the fucking flower?
Well, he's also like, why don't you ever see them like wash their hands or go to the bathroom in Texas Chainsaw Massacre? No reason.
Because we'd have a Neil Breen film on our hands.
Yeah, there was a couple of other examples I didn't write down, but there's a lot of stuff you just don't like. You don't ever see anyone go to the toilet in a film unless it's for a toilet joke, because we just know that they do. You know, you don't see anybody eat unless it's to the storyline, because we just, you know, we know everybody eats. We know, like, why did he have a scorpion on his jacket in Drive? Like, no reason. He just did. I don't, because I wasn't paying attention. So then he basically says that this film is an homage to No Reason. And I'm like, okay, so there is no reason to any of this film or anything in it.
All right, I'm getting myself ready for this.
Yeah, so that's why they can't be like, well, why does he do that? There's no reason. There's literally no reason.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, a load of weird stuff's going to happen.
And this is the opening scene.
This is the opening scene.
Right, okay.
I'm like, he's saying this to camera, he's being all very meta. Then actually the camera turns around and there's a bunch of people that he's talking to. And there's these people in the desert and they are there to watch the movie. Inverted commas, no one can see. Air
Why
quotes.
have I got 3D fan footage flashbacks now? Is it a film within a film or something?
No, it's...
No, it's just fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, the people are part of the story, but they're watching the tyre.
In the movie?
No, in the desert.
Yeah, the movie they're watching the tyre.
Yeah, but it's...
Okay.
But that's real life. The tyre is in front of them because the other guy in the desert gives them all binoculars so they can watch the movie.
Okay. Yep. I get it. Yep.
Oh, good,
okay.
Because...
I'm holding myself back here, Bob. I get it. So, yep. Mm-hmm.
So I'm already like, this is not where I thought this was going. Then this is going to be a bunch of bullet points, because not a lot happens to start with. So then it kind of switches between the film with the tyre and the people in the desert watching it. So that's, like I said, that's the opening scene, and then you see this tyre laying in the desert in the sand, and it just starts to move. It starts to like twist a little bit. It's just moving.
I've already gone.
And then it gets up and it tries to roll a little bit and it falls over, a bit like, you know, a baby deer.
Okay, yep.
But eventually it works out how to roll, and then there's like 3 minutes of it rolling along. Do you know what? It was a bit Pixar in a good way. They gave this tyre personality, which was really odd. Like, he rolls up to a plastic bottle. And it's a he. They did call it a he in the movie. I'm not misgendering this tyre, just so we know.
Again, something I thought you would never say on a podcast.
No. And he rolls up to a plastic bottle, and it kind of rolls up to a bit like a deer or like an animal sniffing something to see what it is.
Just nudges it.
It just nudges it.
It has characteristics of an animal in a way, like a wild animal. Right.
Yeah, so it's as if it's sniffing this plastic bottle, and then it like rolls over it a bit, and then it realises it can run it over, so it just rolls it over and flattens it. Then it does the same thing with a scorpion.
Right. Okay. So this tyre is going around crushing things.
Yeah, like it's learning how to roll and get through life. Then it rolls up to a glass bottle, which is a bit harder to roll over. He tries and he can't get over it. He can't crush it. So he backs up, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna, I don't know, roll really fast. Background noise is kind of like a car, like starting or revving or something, and the tyre starts to shake. It smashes the bottle with its mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, understandable. Yeah. Mm. Yes.
I cannot believe how well you guys are going along with this, but internet ghost was a problem.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and we've been knocked down so much, I think, that nothing surprises us.
And then it switches to the people in the desert that are watching it, and they're like, "Oh, what did it do? It like smashed the bottle," and they're talking about it as if they're in a cinema or as if they're with mates watching a film.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm fully on board so far. All of this makes sense. This is all spot on for me.
Yep.
There's nothing out of the ordinary.
No.
It's just a tyre doing a tyre things.
This is a family-friendly
I don't
experience.
understand you guys. A ghost using the internet makes much more sense to me than a tyre rolling around and crushing things on its own.
No, but it doesn't though. A ghost on the internet is bollocks.
'cause we're
We need to stop
computer
talking
nerds.
about it. Yeah, it might be actually.
I also meant to
We're
look
not
up.
mechanics.
I also meant to look up how it worked because I assume it's a remote control tyre. It was quite impressive. So the tyre's had a bit of a long day, so he lays down and goes to sleep. Literally just flops over.
Before we go on,
Yep.
is the entire film just like the day in the life of this tyre? Is that pretty much what this is?
No, there is I don't want to say a B story. The B story of the people in the desert.
all right.
So there is more.
Okay.
But the tyre's gone to sleep, so all the people in the desert go to sleep too.
What, just in the chairs
On
on
the
the road?
ground?
No, there's no chairs. He's smashed up all the chairs. They're just standing around or sleeping on the floor in the desert.
Okay, makes sense.
So then, morning comes, the tyre's woken up by birds and off he goes, just rolling around. The original guy that met them in the desert, that gave them the binoculars, I don't have names for anyone, I don't think there were names for anyone, he turns up and wakes up all the people in the desert. He's like, movie's starting again, get up, get up, get up. Yeah, the tyre wakes up, he drinks out of a puddle, and then he rolls up to a rabbit and explodes it with his mind.
It kind of feels like this should be narrated by
Morgan Freeman.
yeah, or I cannot believe I've forgotten his name. David Attenborough.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, a little bit. He's like, and the thing is, like, it doesn't just roll into the puddle, it moves a little bit back and forth, so it looks like, and there's bits later on in the film where the tyre is like facing forwards, I don't know, and it looks around like it twists so it can.
Yeah. Well, you would, wouldn't you? If you were a tyre rolling down the road looking for people to explode, you would you'd scope the area first.
Yeah. So yeah, he explodes the rabbit and he rolls off, and there's some really happy music, and he seems to be a really happy tyre. There's a girl driving along and the tyre sees her, so the tyre messes up her car. It like uses his brain, and her car breaks down, so she can't start it.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he doing all this?
No, there's no reason.
Because he can.
No
Yeah,
reason.
I guess as you just told me, there's no reason at the start of the film.
The tyre starts rolling up towards the girl, but the tyre gets hit by a truck.
Oh, no.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, and he ends up on the side of the road, and she starts her car again and she drives off. So then when he gets back up again, he's pretty mad, so he explodes a crow. Told you there's going to be a lot of bullet points. And then he rolls on down the road, and he gets to gas station where the truck that hit him happens to be.
I know what's going to happen.
He interferes with the payphone that the man that was driving the truck is trying to use, and then he explodes the truck driver's head.
Yeah.
Oh, the head. Okay.
Yeah, it's very Scanners.
What did you think was going to explode, Dan?
The whole truck. That's what I thought. Especially at a gas station.
Low budget though, isn't it? It's easy to blow up someone's head.
Yeah.
Magical tyre was a high budget idea that they had, I guess. Maybe.
So he carries on down the road, follows the girl that was in the car. She stops at the Easy Rest Inn, leaves her hotel room door open so the tyre can peep on her while she's in the shower.
Again, we've all done it. We've all been this tyre.
Sorry, you're not counting me here. This tyre has magical mind control elements to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
he barely runs he doesn't run anything over, as far as I can remember, apart from the bottle and the scorpion. It's more
a bit
exploding.
of a pervert.
Yeah.
Okay, got it so far.
Yep.
Okay. All clear.
So then the tyre finds an empty hotel room and hangs out in the hotel room and watches TV.
I'm fully on board with this. I don't know why it sounds weird.
I don't know. Maybe I've worked it out when I get to the end of this bit.
Here's the thing, right? You've got to assess a film's reality. And this film lives in its own reality of people standing on the side of a road watching a tyre film.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And thus, it's weird enough that the tyre can have psychic powers. But if it's supposed to be a reality where everything is the same as normal, like it is now, but there's a fucking internet ghost...
Are you saying this because of the comment I made about Scott Pilgrim earlier?
Yeah, I fucking am. Yeah, I am. I was holding it back, but that's exactly why.
Can't say anything bad about Scott Pilgrim to Andy.
No, you can't.
Anyway, the movie people are still watching, and they haven't had any food. No one brought any food with them, and it's been like a day, so they're really, really hungry. And then the guy with the binoculars that brought the binoculars, he's also in that hotel, and he gets a phone call from a guy that he calls his master, and he gets off the phone, and there's a turkey in his room.
Okay, now I'm starting to question things.
A live turkey.
Where has the turkey come from?
No reason. It's just a turkey.
In the desert?
Brought it with him.
That's outrageous.
Don't know. But then he's like, okay, fine. And he kills the turkey, and he takes the cooked turkey to the desert to give to the people, and they all eat it like zombies eating intestines because they're really hungry.
Oh, I cannot tell you how on board with this film I am. It sounds incredible.
I'm so surprised. Dan's got nothing to say, and I am literally gobsmacked at how well you are taking this, Andy.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard here. Trust me. I'm allowing you to just...
Well, what problems have you got with it? You can...
I mean... I haven't got any. It's fine. Go on.
That sounds like he's got problems.
Yes.
No, I'm just fascinated by this. That's all.
Yeah. So, hotel cleaner, she knocks on the door. You know, not room service, cleaning lady.
Cleaning.
Nobody answers. Housekeeping, that's the one. There we go. Get there eventually. And nobody answers. And she goes to check the bed, and the bed's full of fucking dirt and tyre marks because the tyre was sleeping in the bed.
Tyre marks. Skid marks, please.
She's like, oh, fucking... And then she hears the shower go on. And she's like, hello? Like, do you want me to clean the room or do you want me to come back? And she goes into the bathroom and nobody answers her. And then she pulls back the shower curtain and the tyre's having a shower. It's just in the shower.
Oh, it's so good.
She calls someone a fucking weirdo. And then she picks up the tyre and she throws it out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she throws him out into the desert.
Oh, I feel so sorry for this tyre. It's just getting mugged off by everyone.
So the guy that owns the hotel and his kid... Dan's gone again. The kid sees the tyre and says to his dad, that tyre's alive. And his dad's like, don't be a dickhead. It's not alive. Go and get me a pizza. Don't know where he's getting him a pizza from in the desert.
Get me a pizza.
Yeah, and he goes on his bike. I had a problem with that. He goes and gets a pizza, but he goes on his bike.
Shut the fuck up. Get me a pizza.
Get me a fucking Domino's now.
Yeah. The tyre kills the cleaner and carries on watching TV.
How?
Yeah.
It explodes her head.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a psychic tyre.
I forgot. Yeah. I forgot the psychic tyre. I forgot.
Come on.
The only thing I can remember him watching on the TV, because he does watch TV a couple of times, was some sort of nature documentary about tortoises or turtles and Formula One. So I thought you'd like that, Dan.
Oh, cool. Okay. I guess it's a tyre. It's going to love Formula One. Yeah.
Yeah, but would it though? Would it? Because it's seeing its own kind being like...
Please don't deep dive into this.
Oh no, that's for later. We'll come back to that later.
Oh.
He finishes watching TV and he goes swimming because he goes in the hotel pool.
Yeah.
How does it swim?
It sinks to the bottom.
Oh.
Okay.
And then it cuts back to the people in the desert going, oh, don't tyres float? No, that's inner tubes. Tyres would sink. And she's like, oh, I would have thought they would have. You know, just random
you learn
chat
something
about...
new every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they start to get sick, all the people in the desert. Because that turkey was poisoned. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, no.
Everyone ate it except a guy in a wheelchair. He didn't eat it.
The turkey that was cooked in a motel room, bedroom, is somehow poisoned and not cooked properly. That is absolutely shocking.
So that kills everyone in the desert except the wheelchair man. So you go back to the sheriff from the beginning has now gone to the hotel to talk about the dead cleaning lady. And he looks at his watch and he's like, it's been 6 hours. The turkey will have kicked in now. All the spectators will be dead, so we can stop now. And everyone's like, what? And he's like, it's fine, it's over, we can stop now. And they're like, what are you talking about?
So it was planned.
Well, yeah, but the guy that owns the hotel has no idea what he's talking about. And then he goes out to the other policemen and they don't know what he's talking about either. They're like, what do you mean stop? He's like, yeah, we're done, go home, it's fine. And they're like, but we have a body and a thing to, what are you talking about? So he gets one of them to shoot him to prove that it's not real, which they do, and a squib goes off and he's fine. So he's part of the movie, but I don't understand, none of them are part of the movie.
Penny.
I kind of wish this was what I was expecting. It would have been a lot easier to understand.
The highlight of this is me watching Dan when you talk, because he's...
You can see my face go red. I'm just like...
Well, we'll get through it and then you can offload. Then the turkey binoculars guy runs up to the... it was hard. There's no names for anyone.
Turkey binoculars guy. Sorry.
It was hard when there's no names and the main character is a tire.
I know.
He goes up to the sheriff and he's like, they're not all dead. The wheelchair guy didn't eat any of the turkey. He's not dead, so you have to carry on. And the sheriff's like, what? He's like, yeah, the movie's not over. You have to carry on. So the sheriff just goes, oh, forget everything I just said, and walked off. He's like, it's fine, carry on.
Okay.
So he's trying to kill the audience members.
Yeah.
For some reason.
But like they can't stop doing what they're doing until they're all dead. The sheriff goes back, he's like, oh fine, goes back to talking to the hotel manager. He's like, never mind, don't worry about what I said. Tell me about the cleaner again. And then the tire comes up and explodes that man's head. So the sheriff is like, oh shit, he's the killer.
I just love the fact this tire just rolls up and just blows up someone's head.
I've written tire flashbacks.
Vietnam, is it?
No, but I can't remember. Oh, I don't know why. But he's having flashbacks to the, like, when he was rolling around in the desert having a nice time. It's flashbacks to him rolling around from the beginning of the film.
Oh.
And I don't know whether he's like, oh, do you remember how it used to be?
That was what, 10 minutes ago?
Yeah. This film's like an hour and a half.
Oh, Jesus.
Turkey Man tries to get the wheelchair man to eat. But even though the wheelchair man knows that the turkey killed all the other people, but he's like, you need to eat.
Get him to eat what? More turkey?
No, he gets like really fancy food and mashed potatoes and chocolate eclairs.
Volivons.
Yeah. The wheelchair man's like, no, I just want to watch the end of the movie in peace. But then I'm like, is there an end? So then it gets exciting. There's a police chase. They chase the tire. And the tire just explodes everybody's heads.
Yeah, of course.
While the turkey guy is trying to convince him to eat, the guy's like, oh, no, look, the movie's getting exciting. Look, there's a police chase. And he gives him the binoculars to look at. So he gets slightly invested in the movie. And then he eats all the food and he dies, even though he knew it was poisoned.
So he refused the turkey.
Not the wheelchair man, the guy that brought him the poisoned food ate the poisoned food.
That's even better.
Yeah, he's like laying there and he's like, you sure you don't want an eclair? They're fucking great. And the guy's like, no, I'm not hungry, while he's watching the film. And then he tells a creepy story about how him and his brother went hiking and his brother fell down a hole, so he smashed his face in with a rock. And then he starts... Dan's gone. And then he starts getting stomach cramps and then he starts to die in agony from the food. Got rid of the policeman and he's just rolling around and he gets to a tyre yard.
All his friends.
Yeah, he's not happy. He's really not happy. He sees them throwing tyres onto the fire. And then it just cuts to apparently 3 days later and he's just exploded most of the town that he gets to.
As you would.
So, yeah, there's just exploded heads everywhere. So, how do you catch a killer tyre? Anyone know?
Well, I haven't thought about it, but I guess you could, I don't know, wait for winter, because maybe it's not an all-weather tyre. Maybe it's just a summer tyre.
There is a bit where the policeman, when they're looking for the tyre, the sheriff takes his tyre off a car and shows it to them. He's like, that's what we're looking for. Like, that's what our...
Oh my god.
And they're like, what brand is it? And he says it's unbranded. And they're like, is it black? And he's like, yep.
That's what we're looking for.
It's the greatest film in the world.
That's what we're looking for. Think about that for a minute.
Yep.
That's what we're looking for.
But I think the fact that at the beginning, the whole no reason thing is what made it okay.
Yeah, but don't you feel that's a little bit of a cop-out?
No.
It's not.
No, because it tells you up front that
this is what this film is. I guess that's better than going into a film and not being told that and then watching it and going, what the fuck is this?
Because this is why I thought you guys would get mad, because you'd be like, well, why would a tyre do that? And how would it do this? But apparently you didn't.
I've seen the trailer for this, so I know exactly what to
I did want to watch this. This is the thing. I think we both wanted to watch it because we already knew what it was. If we didn't have any idea, then I think I'd say most of the audience might not know it. They'll be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They wanna catch the tyre, so they set up a mannequin, a lady mannequin,
right,
with a speaker in it, and they get the girl that it was chasing from before, to talk dirty to the tyre,
right?
But like mean dirty, like it's like, come here. Oh, what does he call it?
You have to give us examples.
Yeah, I wrote. It was like it just gets worse. Like she's like, go on. Apparently it's got dynamite attached to the mannequin, which I missed. But the plan is that the tyre blows up the mannequin, which sets off the dynamite.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, I see what
That's the easiest way to catch a killer tyre, apparently. So she's in like a van. You know, they have secret police vans and they're listening, and she's going like, come on, kill me. She's also like French or something, which I found really off-putting.
Please do the accent.
I can't do an accent. But
Damn.
she might not have been French, but I didn't want to say she was foreign, but she had an accent. I watched another film after this, like, I don't know. But yeah, she's like, at one point she refuses to say what's on the sheet because it calls the tyre a slut. It's like, you're a slut, come on, blow me up, come on, you're nothing but a rubber shit.
I actually have one of those as well.
Tyre blows up the mannequin, the dynamite doesn't work, so the sheriff follows the tyre into this house and shoots it with a shotgun, all while the wheelchair man's going, you can't just fucking shoot it, that's rubbish. Like, he's mad at the end of their film. The wheelchair man is still sitting watching the house, and then a tricycle comes out and he's like, no, you didn't get him, he's been reincarnated as a tricycle.
Sorry, what?
Now the tyre is reincarnated as a tricycle, so now it's a killer tricycle, a little kid's one, like Jigsaw's little... I wish you could all see Dan's face right now.
You've got questions, haven't you? You've got questions. I
Me?
can see it.
We're nearly at the end.
No, we'll wait to the end. No.
The tricycle looks at the wheelchair man. The wheelchair man's like, no, stay there. I'm not a character. I'm not in this. Like, chill out. Tricycle blows him up anyway.
Oh, we did so well to stay alive that long.
Yeah, and then the tricycle rides off into the sunset. As he does that, he wakes up all the tyres that are on the side of the road on the way to create a little tyre army.
Yeah.
And they roll off towards Hollywood.
I genuinely feel so happy. This film is a slice of me. I'm all over it.
I'm so confused, but yeah.
Is that it? That's
it.
Film?
Yep. There's a nice shot of the tricycle in the middle, and then like tyres kind of in a nice triangular formation behind him, and the Hollywood, they're going towards the Hollywood sign, and that's the end. Ta-da! So there was no reason for this film. There was no reason for any of this to happen in the film. I didn't understand any of it, but I didn't hate it. I don't know why, but I didn't hate it. I don't know if I'd watch it again.
I'm going to watch it immediately after we finish recording.
But
I might have to watch it now.
yeah, like, Although you want to be like, why were the people in the desert watching the movie? What was the movie if it wasn't to do with the tyre? Like, why did they all have to die? But because at the beginning you just went, yeah, there's no reason to shit in films, you're like, yeah, fair enough. So, like, I know you said it sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but I feel like it didn't annoy me, and I thought that would annoy me. But I definitely expected some sort of B movie like The Blob, this tyre rolling around smushing people, which is not what I got, and I'm a little disappointed about that.
Yeah, but it is like, I think that would have been too obvious if it was just
that was too obvious.
running around rolling people over. To give it like a psychic power makes it more interesting. But it's definitely that sort of B horror movie. A bit like Slither, but less slugs, more tyres.
That's the
Put that on the box.
That's the episode title. Less slugs, more tyres.
I mean, all I want to know is there any, I guess so there's no explanation for why the tyre is alive.
Nope.
It doesn't need one.
Nope. There's no reason.
So if you're literally after a movie about where nothing matters and a lot of it is not explained and is...
Then watch Drive. Oh, sorry. We're still talking about this one.
How dare you? We never had a tyre character in Drive, although it would be hilarious if Ryan Gosling was speaking to a tyre.
It did make me think. I don't know what about, but it was just
it
like,
made me think. What did it make you think about?
I don't know, but I had to pay attention. Put it that way. I recommend it, but yeah, go in with no expectations.
Go in with zero expectations.
That's a better plot than most No Brain films.
Dan, what did you want to talk about?
In The Pianist by Polanski? How come this guy has to hide and live like a bum when he plays the piano so well? Once again, the answer is no reason. I could go on for hours with more examples. The list is endless. You probably never gave it a thought. But all great films, without exception, contain an important element of no reason. And you know why? Because life itself is filled with no reason.
So, I watched a 2009 film. The reason I watched this is my favourite, I guess, classic Disney film is Alice in Wonderland. And because I just like the weirdness of it. How ironic for this podcast, but this episode.
Do you like the flying toast? The butterflies?
But I didn't watch Alice in Wonderland from Disney. I watched Malice in Wonderland, which is a British fantasy film set kind of in the universe of Alice in Wonderland, or it's a homage to Alice in Wonderland. It stars... the main character, Maggie Grace, I don't know what she's in. Apparently she was in Twilight. She was one of the characters in Twilight. But it also stars a whole host of British people that only British people will know about, including Danny Dyer, mate. Danny Dyer is in this. And so essentially how this works is it's kind of the same story as Alice in Wonderland, except it takes place in London in the streets, essentially. And it's a bit of a gangster film / weird, I don't know what the fuck's going on kind of thing. And it's a lot of the things they reference is just real life stuff. So there is drug use in this.
Superhands is in this.
He is. Matt King is in this. Probably the best character, I would say. I mean, Paul Kane is also in this, and he's really funny in this, but I don't know how much I want to give away because I'm quite surprised by this film. It's a really bad, it's 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's 40 something for audience score, I think. And I thought going into this that I would hate it, and I think it would just be one of those things where it's just like, it was either going to be a complete copy and paste of things I've seen before. And bear in mind, this came out before Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, if you remember those ones with what's her face, Anne Hathaway's in it. I like the first one, and that the second one is one of the worst films I've ever seen. It's fucking awful. So I kind of like them, but I like the darker side or the more adulty side of an Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. And this is what this is, essentially. I don't know how much I want to go into it because I liked it. I liked the film, guys, that I didn't think I was going to like, and I'm really surprised that I liked it. One thing I will point out is that it's there's so many people. I had to look up everyone who was in it, and a lot of people are from like British soaps and stuff that are here. So like they literally handpicked, especially Danny Dyer, who's in like EastEnders and stuff. But like at times,
I just had a look and I didn't recognise a lot of them.
A lot of them are just Coronation Street, EastEnders, Emmerdale, all that kind of stuff. Like they literally handpicked a lot of people from that. Alice is British though. Alice is American, sorry. That's the only difference, is she's American.
And she speaks with an American accent.
She speaks with an American accent, and she's running around in London. And for the first part of this film, it honestly feels like the very start of it is Alice running around the underground and overgrounds of London with no one really in the streets, just her and Tweedledee and Tweedledum, the versions of them, which are basically two bouncers who are homophobic and racist.
That sounds amazing. Not because they're homophobic and racist, but because they're Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Yeah,
they're literally like the typical British bouncer, and they're twins, and they're fat and big, and it's weird, man. That's the start of the film. It's just like, what the fuck? She's basically running around London. Tweedledee and Tweedledum are like following her, and creepy. Essentially, the start of the film, she gets knocked over by someone in a black cab, and out pops Danny Dyer. And he's a bit like, all right, mate, oh, what the fuck? Why did you get in my way, mate? I'm late. And he has two watches on his hands.
He's the bunny.
He's the
white
bunny.
rabbit.
He's playing Danny Dyer's playing the White Rabbit. But in this film, she has to refer to him as he told her, as Whitey.
Interesting choice of nickname.
So he is, essentially playing the rabbit who's always late, and he has two watches on his arms. He knocks her over because she's running away from these guys, and he doesn't really know what to do with her. So he shoves her in the back of the cab.
This is turning into a different.
Well, it drives off. Okay, he drives off, and he essentially gives her some drugs. Because he said you need to clear your head. When she takes the drugs, she suddenly goes from getting a cab in London to arriving at a place called Wonderland, which is situated in London in an unknown location. So it still has the look of London. It's just that there's no one there. Like, it's very empty, dead end. Okay. The advertisement boards are very Wonderland-esque. You know, they're not real life kind of things. Essentially, what's happening is that Danny is late. Oh, I'm just going to call him Danny Dyer. I'll call him Whitey all the time.
Bunny Dyer.
Danny Dyer is late because his mate Harry is getting out of prison. And this is so great. It's a mixture of Alice in Wonderland and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Is basically what it is.
I'm in.
Danny is buying a present for Harry because he's just got out, and now Harry is like the big mob king, and what we learn later on is he's the queen and king of hearts. He's both of them together. I think. Who, when he gets out, he always like favors someone if they give him the best presents when he gets out. So everyone's kind of competing to give Harry the best present when he gets out of prison. Follow me so far. Essentially, like what I learned from it after finishing the film is that the drug trip is essentially what they're trying to do in this. Is that she takes these pills, and it's essentially she goes on a drug trip in this weird. It's like a night out in London, but at the same time she's like meeting weird people, and there's a huge amount of focus on like Dutch camera angles as well, and like really quick shots so that you're constantly looking at something every 5 seconds. It does make me a little bit seasick, or motion sickness, I guess, not seasick, motion sickness, because there's so much of it at times. And that, if I was going to give it like a bad thing, but I understand why they did it, because they're trying to give that whole, you're on a trip, you're going it's not stopping kind of a thing.
Can I just ask, my film studies teacher would hate this, but what's a Dutch camera angle?
Where you slant the camera angle slightly to the side, like I'm doing, that the audience can't see. But yeah,
people might not know, like me.
I think it was made famous by Clockwork Orange. I think I'll skip out some bits because I do think it's still good, and I want people to kind of watch it. Paul Kane is in this. If anyone knows Paul Kane is, he plays the caterpillar. Like, there's a lot of the thing I love about this is that the things you expect, like the things you expect in the book or the Disney cartoon, whatever. So there's little differences that I like, because there's a lot of things that obviously the reference, they follow along with the novel quite well. It's just done in a darker, more Britishy, druggy, trippy tone,
like Train Spotting-y.
Yeah, I mean, it fits well because that's Alice in Wonderland is a trippy cartoon, whatever. It is like really fucking weird, but this is just live action. If it was done in live action, Paul Kay is the caterpillar. If you remember the caterpillar in the Disney cartoon, it was smoking on a shish pipe. Paul Kane rolls up to Alice in the street somewhere, and he's got a car with weird lights on the outside, like covering the whole car, like fluorescent lights. It's like Christmas lights fell on his car or something. It's fucking weird. And then he rolls down the window and he's literally smoking like a huge joint.
Amazing.
And all the smoke is coming out of his car. He's hotboxing. And he has a Jamaican accent in this. And he has dreads. And he refers to himself as a Rastafarian. He's constantly, I mean, it made me laugh because I was like, this is like, imagine him getting this going, right, I'm playing. Like, he's in it for 5 minutes as well, and all he does is like transport her from one location to the other, and that's it, and then he's done his bit.
Do you think they came up with a name first and worked backwards?
I think so. Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's cringy at times. I think it's more cringy at the start because you're trying to get used to this whole like weird universe, but like once you kind of get into it, and there's a lot of different twists, and I won't give the twist away. There's like 2 twists at the end that made me go, oh, they're kind of good twists. At the same time, they don't make the fucking lick of sense whatsoever, but they're just like, oh, like I didn't see that coming kind of thing. So I'm not going to talk about that, but it does kind of in a way explain why she's going through Wonderland and all this kind of stuff in a way, but not really. Obviously the drugs is the main part of it. It doesn't get too out there, so it's not like anything magical happens in this, like some sort of wizard shows up. No magic tires. It's literally you take drugs, you start seeing things, kind of a thing. So yeah.
With a title like Malice in Wonderland, I'd expect like it to be more
violence.
Yeah, more violent.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of this is she's trying to remember. The whole kind of synopsis of it is Alice is trying to remember who she is, because after she got hit by Danny Dyer in the black cab at the start of the film, she has no idea who she was or who she was beforehand. So she's trying to find out who she is. Now, I'm going to stop talking about it, but this is the problem I have. I would have been fine with it, and I still would probably recommend this film. However, I watched the trailer for this beforehand. In fact, it shows the whole entire movie in the trailer. Even a main character getting killed at the end of the trailer.
what?
Yeah.
I hate when trailers do that anyway, but that seems counterproductive.
Like, if you watch the Malice in Wonderland trailer, it, honest to God, goes from point A to point B, the end, just in different segments, like taking little bits out, but taking the main points out of each scene and putting it into a trailer, and it ruined the film for me, because I knew that character was going to die. I knew what was coming later on in the film, and I knew certain people would still be around, blah 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 blah. It's so bad. Like, if you watch the film, watch the trailer, and you'll see how much they just like absolutely spoil. And that's probably why it didn't I mean, it didn't do well because it didn't get reviewed well, but I still think it's like interesting. The thing I liked the most about it is the set design. Weirdly, how nerdy am I? is how they managed to create London, or they create these London streets, but also at the same time like re-envision it. If it was like if you were on the town flat out taking drugs, what would it look like? They do like a fantastic job of doing that. It's more of a like, because I could go into it and I could give you the deets and everything, but I actually think people should check it out because not a lot of people have seen it, and I honestly think it's worth a watch in a weird way, especially if you like that kind of Alice in Wonderland universe and stuff. You'll find loads of references, but bear in mind it is more or less a gangster film more than anything else.
There was a weird spate of those sort of films at the end of like the noughties. You had like a couple coming out a month, normally with the same sort of casts, and they
was it because of Snatch?
Churning them out. No,
lots of them filmed bits in Essex.
I don't know what it was, but it was just they, after like kidulthood and adulthood, they just seemed to be those sort of London gangster films constantly coming out in a steady flow.
You look like a gangster. Sorry. That was some Goodfellas right there.
That was Goodfellas.
Yeah, when she turns up at his mum's house and she's like, "Oh my God, you look like a gangster."
Okay.
Watch it. That's pitch perfect. That is.
So yeah. So Malice, I would recommend Malice in Wonderland. It's good fun. Don't go into it expecting the world's greatest thing, but it's a good fun, weird movie is what I would say.
Should we call this episode "No Expectations"?
No,
as in from my movie and your movie. Just go in with no expectations and you'll be fine.
Yeah, sure, why not?
A pick-me-up?
4 and 3, 5 and 2, 6 and 1. Lucky Eye is here now, before delivery is done.
What? Mr.
Doctor, Mister, see this eye? I'm no pillar, I'm a cat. Postman Killer is where I'm at.
Speaking of no expectations, Film Out of the Hat is where we take our... Oh, you walked into that one. Film Out of the Hat is where we take a film out of said hat, and then we talk about it on the next week's episode. The film we pulled out of the hat last week was Penny's choice, the film Hackers from 1995. It stars...
You can always tell when you don't like it.
Johnny Lee Miller. I'm just reading. Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina Jolie,
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard. And Penn.
Penn
Gillette and
Angela
Fisher.
Price?
No, the guy from Short Circuit, The Plague.
Fisher Stevens.
Fisher Stevens, thank you.
Yes.
It's not as funny as Fisher's Price.
Fisher's
This is a film when they tried to cash in on the internets, right?
Oh my God, because all movies are just fucking cash grabs.
No, I'm not saying. Okay, 1995 is when internet boom was happening. Well, I'd say 98, but like from what I remember. But
how old
95.
are you? Do you even know? Do you have the internet? Do you remember dial-up? Could you have had enough of you guys already on this?
I remember dial-up.
Yeah, we all remember dial-up.
We're all there. Don't worry. Our audience is mostly our age as well. I did check the metrics, so
That's
they
true.
would know. We have no one listening under 18 years old, so
No.
thanks, guys.
I don't have to make the noise then.
What noise?
The dial-up noise.
Oh, I mean, you've got to.
No.
I mean, you've got it
advertised
now.
No.
Right, okay.
No, because
right.
you said everyone's our age, so they know what I'm talking about. I'm not your monkey. I do sound effects when I feel like it.
I feel let down.
You should.
For the entertainment process.
No. Sound effects have to come naturally from the heart.
Hackers in 1995 too many nines film. It's a film about hackers, and basically we start this film and you guys jump in when you want to, and I'll read the plot.
Are you going to go through the plot properly? Because when you don't like a film, you skip lots of bits out just to get through
I'm
it.
going through with the plot that's on Wikipedia, so if you want to have a go, someone have a go at Wikipedia. So in 1988 we meet 11-year-old Dade, or as he likes to be known, Zero Cool.
Fuck yeah.
That's a fucking terrible name.
He's 11. What would your
I rolled my eyes.
What would your handle be?
Oops, sorry. No, both Zero Cool and Dade. I've accidentally just kicked the cat.
Yeah, Dade is a weird name.
Dade is crap, innit? I kept thinking they were saying Dave, but no.
I thought when I saw it before I watched the film, I thought it said Daddy.
This is what I have to deal with, you guys.
That would have been better.
I can't deal with these two Muppets anymore.
Sorry, that just got really weird. 11-year-old Dade.
Daddy?
Daddy? Where's my computer? Zero Cool. He's basically caught as an 11-year-old and fined $45,000 for crashing 1,507 computer systems, causing a 7-point drop in the New York Stock Exchange.
Was it not 15,000?
It was 1,507 is what they put on here.
I'm less impressed.
That's a lot in 1988, though. That's almost like every computer in the country, probably.
Did someone look up something?
No,
No, because we have to
Yes,
address
I did.
it. We just have
I
to
did.
address it.
Fucking magical
No,
tire
Pen.
makes sense, but this movie
Pen.
can't be a year out.
I was so good when you were talking about magical tires. I was on my best
Yeah, but
behavior.
Andy
Now-
pointed this
now
out.
Now you're just going off
I liked
on
the
one.
magical tire.
He gets arrested in 1988. We're unusual suspects. That's what we do. We look at the little details, the finer details, and we discuss them. That's what we do. In 1988, he gets arrested. When was the internet a thing? Did you look? Is that what you looked up, Andy?
Well, in 1988, it was still used for research purposes only. In 1989, it became for public use in the US via ISPs.
So he could have still had it if he broke into somewhere, maybe.
Well, essentially, he broke into somewhere to hack. He broke into a research lab to hack 1,500 places as an 11-year-old.
As an 11-year-old.
Because he wouldn't have had it at home. And that's the problem, Pen. And that underwrites this whole film.
This film was 1 year out, but a tyre blowing up people's heads is fine.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, but the tyre is set in its own reality. This is trying
It's
to
a
set
year
in
out.
its
It's
real
nothing.
reality.
It doesn't mean anything.
He is banned from computers, is what I have here on Wikipedia. Is he banned from computers?
Yeah, no Habbo Hotel.
No Habbo
They
Hotel
didn't have
for him.
Habbo Hotel in 1988.
All right. And touch-tone telephones
Yeah.
until he's 18 years old. What a great sentence.
I think a touchstone telephone is like a modem, in fairness.
No, it's a telephone that beeps. Like when you press it, you've got the tones like on a payphone. You touch it and it makes a tone when you press the button, hence touch tone.
On his 18th birthday, he hacks into a local television station.
I always wished I could do this.
And he changes the broadcast episode to The Outer Limits. So I think he was watching the newest episode that hasn't come out yet. Is that right? I think that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to watch this stupid TV show, so he changes it to something else.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to do that? I mean, now we have streaming, but when I saw this when I was like 12.
And this is the point where I was like, what is going on? Another hacker called Acid Burn counters Dade's attack, and they do this by having two claws holding a VHS cassette tape. And one of the claws is grabbing the VHS.
That's how they used to change tapes, though.
I know, but it's just so funny because they're having a claw battle. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's like Hungry Hippo for tapes, isn't it?
Yes, it's just. I was looking at it going, this is just brilliant. I love it. I do love it though. I was laughing my head off the whole time.
Yeah, it hasn't aged well.
It looked like Brainstorm to me.
Yeah.
So Dade accidentally, I don't know, he identifies himself to Acid Burn as Crash Override.
Did anyone recognize Acid Burn's font that they used to talk to him?
Did not.
Because they're typing to each other, and Acid Burn's font was the same font they used from that piracy advert. You wouldn't steal a handbag.
Oh, there
you wouldn't
was,
steal a
wasn't
car.
it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you would steal a font.
But you would steal a font.
Don't tell me I wouldn't steal a handbag. I'm at home at 2 p.m. watching horror movies in my pants. You don't know what I would do.
The views of Penny do not represent the views of the unusual suspects. We do not steal handbags. Only she does. At school, Dade becomes part of a group of hackers. He meets Ramon, the Phantom Freak Sanchez.
Yep.
Ramon.
Yeah.
He was Puerto Rican.
Everybody loves Raymond. I don't know. Emmanuel, serial killer Goldstein.
Matthew Lillard.
And Paul, Lord Nixon Cook. I gotta be honest, that's the worst one.
No, for fuck's sake, it's Lord Nikon. Like the camera.
But it's not. He's only Lord Nikon because he's American. Because if he was English, he'd be Lord Nikon.
Lord Nixon.
No. What was that movie with the boobs that we watched, Dan? What was her name?
All right.
I'm just checking. Just tell me what her name was.
What movie was that?
The movie
Penny.
with the lady with the boobs. What was her name?
Oh, yes.
Elvira.
There we go. Just checking.
Look, I'm trying to read and I've got you screaming down my ear at the same time, so this is really hard to do. So give me a break. So Lord Nikon, named for his photographic memory, in brackets.
Oh, I never put that together.
Did you not? See, were you watching this film?
No, I was, yeah. Well, I sort of was. I remember him saying it. He had photographic memory, and I thought that's got to make an appearance at some point. Never worked out why.
Yeah, why do you think you had that name? It's just for the
I just
camera.
thought he liked cameras, yeah. I just thought he was a big photographer.
He
That's
really
it.
liked cameras. Joey is a novice hacker without an alias and is the youngest of the group, who always is smoking in this film as
Love
well.
Joey.
He's constantly smoking. And Kate, acid burn Libby. She's obviously the one who had a hack-off battle with Zero Cool. Oh god, this film. Joey is out to prove his skills and he breaks into the Gibson.
It was a big corporation, wasn't it? Like the Gibson. I guess it's their like mainframe or something.
So while downloading a garbage file, which gets mentioned a lot in this bloody film, as a proof of his feats, his mother disconnects his computer, leaving him with a fragment file. Oh no.
Which he saves
Typical
on a yellow
mums.
floppy disk.
Because he's done this, it's brought the attention of computer security officer Eugene the Plague Belfors.
I mean, if my name was Eugene, apologies to all Eugenes out there, but maybe I would want to be called the Plague too.
So Eugene is a former hacker, and he realizes the garbage file is being downloaded is a worm he himself inserted to defraud Ellingston.
I feel like we need to simplify this. The Plague has put the worm into this company's computer because it's a bit like those apps you get now for saving, you know, where they round up your transactions and they save it in a little pot. So that's his worm is stealing like a couple of cents here from different transactions and putting it into a secret numbered bank account on some island. And when Joey hacks in and steals some of the garbage file, he's like, he's going to find out what I'm doing. So he starts to frame them. He puts in the Da Vinci virus that will capsize a bunch of oil tankers, and he's going to frame our hacker heroes for an ecological disaster.
So the Da Vinci virus is like it's a distraction.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Okay. To cover the
and then
actual
even if
real
they
one.
did find the worm, they would blame it on the kids and not on him.
Correct.
Okay. So, because of all that happened, Joey is arrested and his computer is searched.
His computer's called Lucy.
Weird. It's weird.
Where was that?
When they take his computer, he's screaming Lucy, Lucy, and he tries to get it back.
Oh.
But also when he's copying the file, it says from Lucy to the...
I thought he was talking about his mum.
No, his computer's called Lucy.
Why would he call his mum Lucy?
No, because I thought he was like, Lucy, don't let them arrest me, mum. Like, that's what I thought.
Do your cars have names? Men name their cars, right? Sometimes, like boats.
I mean, dickheads do, but...
Oh, is this awkward? Addy, does your
Never
car
know.
have a name?
It does.
What is it called?
In fairness, I didn't name it.
What's it called? What's she called?
Poppy, I think.
Such a dickhead, isn't he, Dan? Ooh.
The other car before it was called Sylvia because it was silver. I didn't name it.
So, yeah, Joey gets arrested, but he has hidden the floppy disk in his shorts, I think.
No, he hides it
No,
in his...
in an air
Oh.
vent.
In an air vent.
Air vent. I think. No, because I remember later on the whole floppy disk in the shorts thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that, that's what's in my fucking mind.
Yep.
Andy looks confused. I will explain later.
Is it in the...
No, I remember it. I'm just trying to work out how you got two fucking people mixed up.
Because to be honest, the first hour, I think the second hour, I understood a lot more. But the first hour, I was just like, what is with all these names and all these like...
Think of it as Twitter handles.
Prefixes. Yeah, I know, but it seems like it's so 90s. Like, this film is so 90s that it's too much
No,
at times.
never.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them, people.
Also, there is so much product placement. They needed that money and they didn't make it back, unfortunately.
Did they not?
Nope.
Oh.
Do you know how much they made back?
No.
Budget 20 million, made back 7.5.
Oh.
That's 7 million more than it should have.
Get
20 million's a
out.
lot.
Yes, all those computer graphics.
Oh yeah, of course, the CGI. Of
Yeah,
course
they
it
were
would.
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Some of the best CGI I've ever seen.
That server room later on gave me a wide on. That server room was
God,
great.
don't get me started on the server room. All right, so I need to get through this because Jesus Christ. So at this point, I think this is where Dade and Kate, they meet up at the bar, the skate bar.
How good was that though?
It's so 90s again.
It's
but
inconvenient.
It's not inconvenient. What are you talking
Of course
about?
it is. If you don't have rollerblades on, how are you supposed to go up there with twats rolling towards you?
Well, all hackers wear rollerblades, or former hackers skateboard like the plague, and they also mostly wear tiny sunglasses. Was the thing that I noticed. They all have this really small sunglasses.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool. Like, you could buy computer stuff and mixtapes, and you could skate with your friends, and you could play computer games and listen to music, and it looked fucking awesome.
So he meets Kate, and she's doing. I mean, there's a PlayStation logo there as well, so PlayStation will sponsor it. They were doing Total Wipeout, I think, from what I remember, the game, racing game, and he tries to give it a go, and then he sees that she's going up to some guy. They decide to make a bet.
The first one is that they'll go on a date if he wins, and if she wins, he'll crack copyright and do like hacking grunt work for her.
Is this after they all spend 5 minutes popping a semi looking at her laptop?
Before.
Also, in that scene when they're looking at the laptop, I find it really weird that the lights were on when they're in that room, and then Angelina comes in with the guy, and the lights are still on, and they can't see them. They're literally right next to them.
And they're talking.
And they're talking.
Yeah.
They're talking at a normal volume.
Yep.
That really bugged me for some reason. I was just like, can you not look to your left and you would just see a bunch of guys?
She was making out and in the moment with Curtis.
Yeah, but you would feel someone's
presence. But then she bins them off. She bins them off so she can
because she's got a wide on about
pop
her
a
laptop.
semi at the laptop.
Yeah, she loves her laptop. So basically, the picture we're setting is all these nerds are real hackers. They fucking love hacking. Everything about hacking is great. They're even called hacker names. You know, they're hackers in the most hackery way. That's a word. They are hackers. We get it. In the first opening, we fucking get it. They're hackers. We got it. Anyway, so the bets there's a duel that's going on at the moment between Dade and Kate, where they're going to hack and harass the Secret Service agent Richard Gill.
This is great.
Who's involved with Joey's arrest. This bit I found funny.
This is so good.
Because all the things they try to do. So they do various hacks, including cancelling his credit cards, creating a personal ad in his name.
Oh, that was some creepy, sexy stuff on that personal ad.
Fabricating his criminal record and changing his payroll to deceased. So he doesn't get any money. But by the end of it, the montage we get, the duel is in a tie. So, released on parole, Joey, who was arrested earlier, reveals the disc to Freak, with a PH, who is arrested the next day and informs Kate the disc is hidden in the bathroom at school.
I'm not being funny, right? But if you just got out of jail and you knew that they were
No.
looking for something specific, would you go and meet up with your mate and say, look what I've got?
No, but Joey's really dumb, bless him.
They're all
Like,
dumb.
that
is.
was the whole thing, wasn't it? He's really dumb.
He is fucking dense.
Adorable.
Yeah. Not sure adorable. Dense.
He can be both.
So Kate and serial killer, I hate these names, asks for Dade's help, which he refuses as he has a previous criminal record. Because remember guys, he got arrested when he was 11. The Plague sends him a powerful laptop with a request that he join him. He later threatens to have Dade's mother incarcerated with a manufactured criminal record. If he doesn't.
Boo.
Kate, Lord, serial killer, and Dade. This fucking film. Learn that the code is a worm designed to Somali slice.
Sorry, what?
Somali slice. That's a quote.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently. The worm is designed to Somali slice.
Okay.
25 million from Ellingston's transactions. And that the Da Vinci virus is set to capsize the oil fleet the next day to provide cover and distract from the worm itself.
I like the idea that the worm's going waka 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 like Pac-Man.
The thing that I think we could, I think at this point we can talk about the server room, can we?
The server room.
So, for some reason, Penn Jillette is in there.
Why not? He can be in movies.
It's because hacking is magic.
I mean, he does look like a hacker. He's very young in this. Well, younger in this than he is normally. But he's wearing sunglasses. Like everyone's wearing glasses and sunglasses.
Tiny sunglasses.
But they do the thing I can't stand about this film is the hacking is all visual. It's all like bright lights and sparkly.
Well, it'd be boring otherwise.
I know it would, but it's bullshit, isn't it? It's just complete bullshit.
Yeah, this film is like meant to have like a sense of realism.
No, it's just stylistic. It would be boring if you just saw
It's
them
not-
typing on screens.
It's more a case that they're trying to appeal to the mainstream. So, like, I understand it was 1995, and it's like computers are not as popular, but they are becoming a thing. Let's make a film about it. But how can we describe hacking? And they don't do a great job here. Describe hacking in a way that's everyone can understand, aka have visuals going on screen, so it's like, oh, something's going on, like instead of code, because that would be boring.
This film is
I get
beautiful,
it.
guys.
I'll be honest, I think I would have rather seen the code. I think I would have rather had like
I
a
know
command
you
prompt
would.
up.
I probably would do.
Nerd.
I'd be like, what's he doing there? What's going on?
Oh, that server room doesn't look right. It's all floating around.
Yeah, but the server room didn't look right.
No,
'cause
but
every
it
time
doesn't
they,
need to. It looks cool. It's cool.
It looks
like the cool
stupid.
kids
It
and the
looks
cool
so
It
actors.
looks fucking ridiculous.
It's so stupid. They have towers on individual
I
servers.
wanted to be a hacker because of this film. I never managed it, but
You would have been sorely fucking disappointed.
I know
if
it
you'd
wouldn't
watched
have
this
looked like
film
that.
And gone, I'm going to be a hacker because look at it, it's all shiny and there's colours. And I'm going to name myself a cool name like
Kellogg's cornflakes.
yeah, bin lids. Like, it's just stupid. Oh, that server really wound me up.
bin
It's the
lid.
fact that like they had all these like tower servers, and then anytime someone was hacking, they had to have like fucking flames and sparks going up the
It
side.
wasn't true to
Like, what the
life.
fuck is that?
At least that tyre was realistic. This server room was terrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, but the
All
server
full of
room was
lights,
terrible.
But that tyre rolling around on its own was absolutely fine.
Rubber set itself out early to be unrealistic. This was trying to be.
It's not a fucking
Realistic.
documentary.
I'm not saying it's trying to be a documentary. What I'm saying is it's set out with some realism and then it fucked it by going, look at all these sparks. They're all green. It's bollocks. Anyway, let's move on.
There's no joy in your life.
So Dade confesses that he gave Plague the disc, and he reveals his hacking history as zero cool. He also finds out that earlier on in the film, which I forgot to mention, that Kate, the way he finds out she's acid burn is someone mentions her by acid. And he goes,
Nikon calls her
acid.
Burn.
Yeah.
Burn, that's it. And he
Yeah.
goes, burn, acid burn. I'm like,
That's when they were banging, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When she was banging at the
Because he's
party.
like, oh, look at Burn's socks or something. It's
yeah, the hardware matches the software.
Yeah. And then he's like, burn, and then they hear him.
The hardware matches the software.
That's a good title. So Dade and Kate seek out Razor and Blade,
Yeah, Razor and Blade.
which are the producers of a hacker-themed TV show.
Hack the planet.
Lord and serial killer learn that warrants for their arrest are to be executed at 9 a.m. the next day. Too many people were rollerblading for 95, I gotta be honest.
How do you know? How?
If you were a hacker, you would think you would have some money on you, right? Since
No.
you're robbing banks and stuff like yeah,
No,
you would.
you just fuck around with TV stations and like
So
look at other
you
people's
would-
porn on their computers. I don't know.
Okay, there's two things that annoy me about this. Is that and also the way they dress is like you can tell they're very different from everyone else. What I'm saying is, in terms of keeping undercover about the whole hacking thing, which is a very big part of hacking, being silent.
They don't need to be undercover with their clothes. Nobody knows what they look like. That's why they've got names.
That's a really good point. Maybe they shouldn't give out fucking leaflets then. Or write hack the planet on the side of fucking walls where
Or
they go
that.
into their clubhouse.
Yeah, they're not very good at keeping secrecy, is all I'm
But
saying.
they've got to get caught in the act. You can't just catch them on nothing.
Well, that's not true because they didn't catch Joe in the act.
Well, no, but they caught him. They traced him. Penn and the Plague got him traced, so they knew it was coming from his computer. So they did catch him in the act.
At the Grand Central Terminal, they use payphones and acoustic couplers to hack the Gibson.
Also, I really love, the fact that they're getting ready to all hack the Gibson together. So they get
With the
Razor
payphones one by
with the
the way.
payphones and everything. That Dade, I've written, oh God, the camo keyboard. 'Cause he's
Oh my god, he spray painted the keyboard as well.
Yeah.
Oh my, I lost my shit when I saw that. I was like, no, don't do that.
That was for his like challenge against Kate, wasn't
Oh,
it?
was
and he
it?
was like, she was meditating and he was spray painting a keyboard. It's like, that's going to slow
Yeah.
you down quite a fucking lot.
That's the bit I said to cut out earlier because I thought it was now, but I was wrong.
That drove me insane. As soon as I saw
Yeah.
that, I was like, that's disgusting. How dare you?
Especially because I know you've got a nice like lit up keyboard. I thought you'd like
RGB,
RGB.
lighting.
that. Yeah,
RGB.
we know all about RGB lighting now.
And at first, their attempts are rebuffed by the Plague, who calls Dade to taunt him. Which, also, one thing about Plague, the blonde chick,
Lorraine
right?
Bracco from
She
Goodfellas.
is incredibly good acting in this.
Oh, I hate how dumb they make her.
Yeah,
Like,
but
not
oh my
even-
god.
Like,
It's
she's
so
great,
bad.
but she's so. I'm like, why is she working in this company if she is this dumb? Like, she seems to be quite high up.
She's the one that asks questions about the hacking to him, to
Yeah.
Plague. So
For exposition.
she's us, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's
Penny.
Fuck you.
No, the way she like talks is like really annoying. It's
Do you know
hard
what
to
she
describe.
reminded me of your impression going, what's a butt plug? I don't
What's
know.
it? Yeah, that's exactly
That's what she
it
reminded
is.
me of. Like,
That's-
when she's like,
yeah.
cancer, brain cancer, I don't understand.
Oh god. There's so many quotes in this film. Like there's so many you can mention. Just like what the fuck, seriously.
How nice was that shot, though, of them spinning in the phone booths? I thought that was a great shot.
Oh my god.
Oh, come on, for the 90s, it's a good shot.
It was such a 90s. There's a lot of music in this.
It's
A
a
lot
good
of like
soundtrack.
music montages.
It's a good soundtrack.
Yes. It was a good soundtrack, I give them that. They had was it Prodigy?
There was a lot of
Yeah.
Prodigy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Underworld.
Yeah. It was a really good soundtrack, I give them that. Very
There
nice
was that
music,
Get
yeah.
Yourself Connected song that was like a BT advert for years.
Mate, everyone was fucking playing that tune in the 90s.
Yeah.
Everyone. Like, I couldn't get away from that fucking song. Jesus.
Okay. I don't know it.
So, they do the payphone hacking into the Gibson. Their first attempts are easily rebuffed by the Plague, who calls Daig to taunt him. However, Razor and Blade have contacted hackers from around the world
Hack the planet!
who have lent their support and distract Plague long enough for Joey to download the file. So now all the hackers around the world are involved.
Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Well, it seemed to show that every country was
Yeah.
connecting
There's like a
to
Chinese
them.
one, like a Japanese one,
Yeah.
an English guy, a Spanish girl.
Yeah.
I think I counted 7 hackers.
Well, there you go. That's enough.
Maybe
for
it was only
1995.
Plus the 6 in the US.
There you go.
Yes. So
Hardly anonymous, is it?
no, that's
What do you mean it's not anonymous?
You could do nothing with a DDoS for that. That just wouldn't work. There wouldn't be enough.
all right. You're getting too fucking worky about this. Jesus Christ, man. Fucking hell.
Let's move on. Let's keep going.
I like.
Let's keep
There's
going.
some part of me that's like, yeah, I agree with Penny, where it's like, just suspend your disbelief
Just
a
go with
little
it.
bit. Yes. Okay. So
Sometimes it's more fun to just rage against Penn.
after crashing the Gibson, Dade and the company are arrested. Dade informs serial killer that he's tossed the disc in the trash can.
They're
as Dade
trashing. All right, they're trashing.
Yeah, is that how he knows where to
trashing.
go?
Yeah.
Because he says trashy, trashy.
They're trashing. All
Yeah.
right, hack the planet. They're
Now,
trashing.
if I was the police, I would be suspicious of a guy going trash.
He's not just shouting the word trash, though.
He is, in a way.
No, in sentences.
But then after he shouts hack the planet, Serial also shouts back, yeah, hack the planet.
Yeah, that's-
Surely they'll
he-
go,
Oh, you're
let's
wanted.
arrest this prick as well.
Yeah.
So as Dade and Kate are being interrogated, Razor and Blade jam television signals and broadcast a live video of serial killer revealing the plots and the plague's evilness.
Come on, this is great. Matt
Plague
Lillard
is
is
a-
great doing this bit.
Who?
Matt Lillard, who is serial
Oh, Matt
killer,
Lillard.
his video is pretty fucking great.
He feels like God.
Plague is arrested while attempting to flee to Japan in the worst disguise.
Yeah, I love that, like, because he's in bed with Lorraine Bracco. Because
Yeah.
they're in on it together and they thought they've got away with it. And then they see them getting arrested on the TV in bed, and she doesn't notice him get out of bed and leave.
Yeah.
Surely she would have heard his skateboard rolling down.
But also, I like
the
the idea
corridor.
that, like, he's a master hacker and a master of disguises. Like, he had a fake beard and stuff all set
Yeah.
up, ready to go, like, in a bag
Yeah.
somewhere.
Bit Neil Breen, but yeah. There's one scene I forgot to mention that's a bit earlier on, which I completely lost it when I saw it, is when he's giving the floppy disk. Dade is giving the floppy disk back to the Plague, and the Plague is arriving behind on a car on a skateboard. And he just does it's the most weird confrontation ever of grabbing a floppy disk. I just was like, what the?
He's just hanging
does-
onto the back of the car, isn't he? While the car
And then he
drives him past
skates
Dave.
off. Yeah, he skates
Yeah.
off the car, grabs the floppy disk, and then just goes away into the night in a skateboard.
He
I was
he grabs the car again.
Yeah.
yeah, grabs the car and floats. Why couldn't he just?
Why didn't he just get in the fucking car?
Yeah, grab
Stick
the.
his hand out the window.
He's got to
'Cause-
skate.
The Plague's a jerk. He wants to be Billy Big Bollocks.
Don't be a hater. Be a skater.
He was a skater boy. He said, "See you later,
No,
boy."
we don't get flagged.
While he drove off on the back of a car.
Jesus. Plague is arrested, and while attempting to flee to Japan, everyone's names are cleared. Dade and Kate begin a romantic relationship in the pool. Andy, what do you think of Hackers?
It's really dated. It doesn't stand up.
That's not what he asked you.
It- It was.
Hey, Pen. Okay, we're gonna have an intervention here. Can we just chill out for a minute? You're being like us, you're being like me as I was last week. Just,
I know.
It's all good.
It's fine.
It was really dated. I mean, like, story-wise, was fine. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was essentially what I went into it thinking was that they were going to be the arseholes trying to hack against something, as opposed to act
Another
as
asshole.
a good responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for that, I will give it 1 point, in addition to the other points. Careful, Ben, I saw you go there. It was totally fine. It's getting a 4.
It's quite low for a fine. That's not even me being a dick. I'm just like,
It was.
You're fine.
It was. I found it really difficult to watch.
is that? I get that it's so dated because obviously it wasn't dated
Yeah.
when I watched it originally.
Like, you look at films from the same era, like Total Recall or Terminator, and they are not the same. They don't look as bad.
No, but weren't they like
But I think
based in
because-
the future? Whereas it's Hackers is it's a very specific period of time, whereas Terminator
and that doesn't hold up. That's the problem. I can't watch them fucking around in a server room and go, yeah, that's normal. That's totally fine. I'll give it a 5 maybe.
Don't change it for me. You're fine.
No, I just don't want to get in trouble. That's it. I don't want to get yelled at, Dan. So I'll go for a 5.
Wise choice. I think if it was the 90s, I probably would have watched this. As definitely something I would have gone and seen. Definitely. However, it is not the 90s, and it is 2020. But I said this with Idle Hands, I can appreciate that era because it was just, you don't get films like these anymore at all. Like, they're just a certain type of film that's just like, yeah, you just don't get 90s films like these anymore. So, I enjoyed it. I was utterly fucking confused for a long period of time though, because there was so many nicknames and even
there was no plot till about 35 minutes in.
That's it.
Nothing happened till you're well a third the way through it.
Yeah,
there was a lot of exposition, like he's a hacker, like, and he's really good. Like they had to do that bit at the beginning, like he's really good, but now he's 18 and like he has to meet these people to get involved with this to get to, it was a lot of exposition.
I did have a few issues with the police in it. Like they would just turn up and be there.
Yeah, and they just arrive.
There's fucking 30 of them and no one notices.
I know.
The bit where he gets them at the end, where he's got Dade and Kate, and he's just like, he doesn't talk to them like a policeman should talk to people. I can't remember what he says, but he's just like, shut your face, dickhead.
Joey's having a shower.
Oh yeah,
and then they whip the curtain back, but he hasn't heard them.
He had his headphones
coming
on
into the room.
He had his headphones on.
Oh yeah,
he had his headphones.
Okay.
He had his headphones on
that's-
with little bits of plastic over them, so he could.
Okay, that's a really good point. What about when Freak is waking up and his mum opens the curtains and then they're fucking there?
Yeah, no.
With the window open. Surely they would have had that. Or what about at the end when they catch him at Grand Central? When they're celebrating, they turn around and then there's fucking 70 of them.
Sneaky
Like, they just appear out of nowhere. They're like fucking
hackers.
Ninjas. Hackers versus ninjas.
Also, the other thing that really annoyed me was fucking Johnny Lee Miller. I've got a real problem with him. Can't work out why. He just annoys me. So that was a down note. Anyway, continue with your rating.
I think the big part of it was that I didn't really like the characters. I didn't feel for them. I didn't care. Like, they just annoyed me, and I didn't really wanted them to I didn't have any care for them at all. So like, you gotta have some sort of. Well, I think he gets arrested for hacking as a kid, as 11-year-old, and now he's out, and now he meets a girl, and they're just as boring as each other, and they have stupid names. It just never clicked for me. So I was like, I don't know who to root for.
Do you watch Game of Thrones, Dan?
Yeah, I do, but I was rooting for Penn because I was like, "Hey, Penn is." So I spent half the film rooting for Penn hacking, and he's on the bad guy's side.
Can you do a magic trick?
I just wondered how you managed to get on with all the different names in Game of Thrones. That's all.
Oh, that was easy, but this is just like fucking I'm Spoony Max Spoony Face, and it's just like
bin
lids, Crackerjack. It's just like, I don't know. Like, there's so many names that you could. It sounds
people.
Like
when the most interesting character is the Plague.
Yeah, he was the best character. Yeah,
he was the one who I wanted to win.
Yeah, same here. I hated the kids.
Spill 7 tankers of oil into the sea across the world.
Yeah, but he was just interesting and fun and dynamic. The others were just fucking boring.
He was the bad guy, but he was more. He reminded me of a young
Dan Lally.
He reminded me of a young Dan Lally. No, he reminded me of Alan Rickman in Die Hard a little bit. Yeah, doesn't he? A little bit.
Yeah. You root for him, and then he just sort of turns a bit nasty.
I would never shout at you for having an opinion. Well, I would shout at you while we're talking about it, but I wouldn't shout at your rating for having an opinion.
Fucking shout at me though.
All right, 0.
Yeah,
no.
If I thought you were doing it to be dickheads, then yeah, I would.
4. I'm going to give it 4. I mean, I can't go 5. I gotta give it 4. Penny, what did you think of this film that you picked?
I've been watching this film for 20 years. I give it 8 out of 10 because I love it and I love Matthew Lillard at the end. Well, we know how I feel about this film, so
Yeah,
it probably like if it was the first time I watched it now, I don't know how I would feel about it. But yeah, this has been one of my staples for like 20 years. So
I think it is a generational thing, like, and because you have got like that nostalgia attached to it, and we all know you fucking run on nostalgia.
Nostalgia and spite.
Yeah, I think that'd be the problem. That's the difference.
Yeah,
is that neither of us have seen it, and it just looks.
Oh yeah, when I went to see it at the
crap.
Prince Charles with a bunch of other people that paid money to see it with the director, at least half the audience had seen it. Yeah, everyone was laughing because it was silly, but obviously they still like the movie.
Yeah, I didn't laugh. I just got annoyed. At the points that you laughed, I probably had to pause and go, "This is fucking bullshit."
Where's that fucking rolly tyre?
Game's over. Last chance to get out of this without a prison sentence. You're not good enough to beat me, you little shit.
Yeah, maybe I'm not. We are, you asshole.
Give it up.
3 minutes to capsize.
Just give it up.
Anyway, that was Hackers, and let's see what we're going to watch next week.
I don't think I can deal with it if it's another one of mine.
Please don't be a horror film.
Yeah, I can't deal with it.
Or-
I can't. If you pick another one of mine, I think I need a break from you two shitting on my dreams.
Oh, sorry. You're the one picking the film.
Not out of the hat. This is the hat. You've got the hat. You could always lie.
Don't blame the hat. Don't blame the hat. The hat's done nothing wrong. Just
You
like
can
the
blame
tire.
me.
You
It's
can
fine.
you can do a
I
reroll.
don't- I've got no issue with shitting in your dreams. You can blame me. It's fine. Oh no.
No,
Stabs.
no,
no.
this is good. This is good. I'm very excited to watch this again. We will be watching next week the 2019 film
Oh.
Parasite.
Oh, we.
Yes, we are. This is one I picked.
Is it a horror?
It's so Parasite is a South Korean film. It's subtitled. It is a black comedy. Is what it is.
It won loads of shit. It won loads of awards and stuff. I have
It
been
is
meaning to watch
honestly
it for ages. I'm so excited.
My favorite film of last year. It is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
it is
I'm
so
excited.
good.
I just wanted to get the theme in there, to be honest.
I will be very surprised if this doesn't make the top of our charts. This is a movie about a poor family who decide one day that they're going to invade a rich family's lives. And the way they are going to do this is having one by one a family member get a job at said rich person's house. And they're going to slowly start stealing their money and stuff. That's the premise of this film. I won't say any more than that. It is fantastic. I love it so much. So we'll be watching Parasite next week.
I nearly watched that lately. I think I was going to watch it, and then I didn't have time to watch something actually good because I needed to watch something for the
Oh, so you were watching? So what you're admitting to Hackers was what you talking about?
No, I was talking about my mega list of films
The
I
tire.
picked based on names.
Oh, okay.
You seem so full of life now, Pen.
I'm excited. I've been meaning to watch it for ages.
That's how I feel about Rubber. I've been meaning to watch that for ages.
Yeah, you guys watch Parasite. I watch Rubber. We'll come back next week. That has been episode 14. I think I might got that right.
That's what we
Yes,
said
it
at the
has.
beginning, so I hope so.
Yeah, it's been a long one. Jeez, it's been eventful. It's been emotional. What is our socials, Penny? Please.
You can find us on Instagram at Unusual Suspects Pod and on Twitter at Unusual Podspect, and we now have a Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
I didn't make it, and I don't know what it's under, so I haven't written it down.
It's the same as the Instagram, so it's facebook.com.
Unusual Suspects Pod.
Yeah, same as that. So
And you can find all our highlight videos on there. Facebook, there's a Dan reacting to the Batman trailer on there.
oh, that's gonna be old by the time this comes out.
I mean,
but
yeah, but that's the kind of stuff that we'll have on there, so you can find us on.
Can we talk about Batman really, really quickly?
Yeah,
It's fucking good, right?
I'm excited. I don't even like Batman, and I'm excited.
Oh, Rob, I'm honestly, that trailer has kind of really changed me from kind of being excited about it to like being really excited about it now. So
I need to see all the videos of how they put Colin Farrell in that fucking penguin makeup.
yeah,
I'm just enjoying listening to you get excited about a comic book movie.
DC, mate, not fucking
no,
Marvel.
he didn't.
Get fucked, Marvel.
I know it's DC. You don't bring your comic book knowledge at me.
We're
Yeah,
coming
but it's
back.
DC, which means it could
Me
be
and my
shit
DC
like most
boys,
other
we're
DC.
coming back.
Oh.
We're taking over from Marvel. We're gonna have the Suicide Squad. We're gonna have Wonder Woman 2. It's gonna be fucking great summer.
Aquaman
Everyone
2.
get along. Can't be arsed with that. It's fine. That's fine. We're gonna have
I'm
great
gonna go
summer.
see Aquaman. I'm just glad they went with like Jason Momoa Aquaman and not little blonde Aquaman.
What, like in the cartoons and comics?
Yeah, like on Robot Chicken.
That's your reference. My socials. Let's move on. My socials is at Dan Talks a Lot on Twitter.
At Penny_photopit.
At Choices21.
We'll be back next time to bring you more happiness and tires with magical powers and hackers that have
Hack the
weird
planet.
names. What would you? Okay, signing off.
I knew you were
one
gonna
by
say this.
one.
I don't know.
What is your hacker name before
Well,
we sign
Annie's
off?
is
What would-
bin lid.
It's a great name. It's a great name. The thing is, it's a great name.
I'm shit at names at the best of times, so I'd be like,
Come
Joey.
on, you know you thought about this. If you've seen this film a million times, you
but I couldn't
you've
think
thought
of
about
one because I'm shit at names.
If you
Miss
want, you can have
Moneypenny.
bin lid. You can have bin lids, and I'll come up with another one.
Bin lid. No.
You could go for rubber leg.
Rubber leg? Are we just putting words together now?
That's what they were doing, yeah.
Well, no, acid burn is a thing. Serial killer is a pun.
Right, what about...
Lord Nikon because of the photographic memory?
Right.
I think I would be
and-
called Steak Bake. I just love having Steak Bake as name. This is the longest ending ever.
I don't know. I've thought about this for 20 years. I don't know.
You don't have any name you would call yourself by?
I've been underachiever for years, so it would be that, I suppose.
Well, there you go. Well,
Makes sense.
me and Steak Bake and Bin Lid
Bin
will
lids.
start hacking
Yours
the
is
world.
much better. Steak
Yes,
bacon,
bin lids.
No, I want a good one.
If you want to join Steak Bake and Bin Lid's group, you got to be a cool hacker and hack television stations.
Trash skunk. It's like a trash
Trash.
raccoon.
Isn't that just a raccoon?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a trash raccoon, but stinkier.
Right.
like Hermit.
Like a hermit.
No, one more time.
I'll be honest, Ben, I think you should go with rubber leg.
Rubber leg? Why? No, rubber leg's weird.
It's funnier.
Shut up, bin lid.
Thank you very much for watching.
Someone
We'll
come up
see
with a
you.
good hacker name for me.
I'm so happy with bin lid.
Thank you very much for watching episode 14. We'll see you next time.
Bye.